Okay, Cheva, we're going to get started. Great to see everybody. I want to start by thanking everybody for who was thinking about me and davening for my mother's recovery. Baruch Hashem, it looks like Aliza Bas Sarah, my mother, has made some steps of recovery. So thank you to everybody for being there in support. I really, so much appreciated. Thank you. Okay. So we're back. We're ready to get into some awesome Torah this week. Hi everyone, welcome. So thanks again everybody for all that support. I wanted to mention to everybody that this Wednesday our Likutei Moran shiur will resume, and so it's going to be sponsored this week by our good friend Michael Saidi, who is sponsoring the shiur in honor of the yortzeit of his father, Zohar ben Reuven, and for that we're going to hope that people can come out in person, and there's going to be sushi, and he's going to bring some food and stuff for Wednesday's class. So in honor of the yortzeit of his father. So I hope everybody can join. So let's get going. So welcome everybody in person and on Zoom. Good to see you all. So when we last left the Chochom and Tam, we left with these three tools to be able to test if we're to be able to keep us on the right path when it comes to not going crazy with having our minds and our souls pulled into a place of real negativity and real tumah and difficulty. We said the first thing is we have to make sure whenever we're faced with something, with any kind of thought process, any kind of new emotional state, we have to say, is what I'm going to do over here. Someone comes and wants us to get involved in something that's going to take a lot of mind space. We have to say to ourselves, first, is this going to bring me simcha? Is this going to bring me to tamimus? And if it's going to, then that's a good sign that I can move ahead with it. But if I know it's not going to do that, if I know it's going to take me down difficult paths, it's going to confuse me, it's going to bog me down, it's going to take me into negativity and sadness and all these, and stress and worry, maybe it's not the right thing for me at this point. Maybe I don't have to get involved in everything, right? One thing at a time. The second thing we said is the inyan of hischadshus. So we have to make sure that everything that we're approaching in our lives, that we're always doing it from a place of a fresh start. We're not going through life with a heavy burden of the baggage of our past on our shoulders. We're not being weighed down by all of the history, right? Imagine I'm thinking about it. Just imagine if you have a relationship of two people, whatever the relationship is. Could be husband and wife, could be parent and child, could be whatever it is, could be friends. And there's been difficulty in the past, and there's been arguments, there's been differences of opinion that have not gone smoothly. And that has been a point of real tsar, real pain, right? Real pain. So, how much more of a chance we have to move forward in this relationship with positivity and with love and with respect if we can make a fresh start. If we can not carry all that baggage of the past, all of that anger, all of that frustration with us all the time. If we can make a fresh start, imagine the difference. How you can work in a relationship and try to rebuild a relationship when you're not constantly, being pulled down by all that history. So a fresh start was number 2. And number 3, and so important, I got a story for you guys. Oh my gosh. So important is that we are not comparing ourselves to others. We're not looking to other people and becoming jealous, thinking about, if only I could be like them, if only I had what they have, if only, right? One of the main lessons of the Tam is that I have to, this is going to be a big part of our lesson today, but I have to look to what I have right now and be happy with what I have right now. If I think that I'll only be happy if I would have the same income that my neighbor has, that's a sign that we will never be happy. We could be happy now, we have to be happy now, and then we could also be happy if we had the income of our neighbor. Right? But only if we're happy now, because that income is not going to help our state of happiness. So don't look towards other people. So I literally got a call from a certain person this week. And this person was having a very hard time because her extended family are very wealthy, all of them, and this person's not wealthy. And so she was looking to everyone around her and saying, it's unbelievable. Like, these people have so much money and gigantic houses, and there's no one in them. I have a big family and I have a little tiny place to live. I open my jewelry box. There's not a single diamond. There's none of this stuff. And they have diamonds, and their family has this, and their family has that, and can't we try? And maybe they can, maybe we can inherit something from the elders, and whatever. And so I said to this person, your feelings and what you're saying is valid. There's money in the family, and maybe you'll be able to inherit something. It's okay, right? However, I talked about this with her, that one of the most worst things we can do that will put us in such a terrible state of mind and state of spiritual being is if we are looking to what everyone else has and wishing that we had it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter where we are. It's going to take, because what does it do? It takes us out of our personal existence. It's as if we're saying that, Hashem, I know you made me who I am, and you gave me all of my pluses and negatives, my talents and my challenges, and all my strengths, and you put me where I am to do something. And it's like I'm saying, I don't want to do it. I want to be that person. But Hashem put you here for a purpose. Like we always said, if we're doing something meaningful, to accomplish what we were put here for, we'll feel happy. And if we're not working to accomplish what we were put here for, then it doesn't matter how many diamonds we have and how big our house is. We're not going to be happy. As we all know, there's plenty of super duper wealthy people out there who are not happy, right? It's not the key. So anyway, so I said to this person, by the way, there's a few shiurim that we have on this story of the Chochom and the Tam that talk specifically about this, about not looking to others, not building up jealousy for other people. And I tuned her into there, and she, mamish, it gave her a huge new perspective. It was very helpful. The Torah Rabbi Nachman, in this story in particular, can be so very helpful to us. Happens to be, in the story, then, well, whatever, we'll see what the tikkun is. But in the end, something happened just shortly after that. And it's part of what we're always talking about here, that the way, remember the Tam, who's the simple person, it's not that he doesn't have aspirations. It's not that he's not planning to grow. It's just the Tam realizes that my growth doesn't happen from me wanting to be somewhere else. My growth happens from me being me, where I am, and working to build kelim, to build the vessels wherever I am, and then the Ribono Shel Olam will bring blessing to me, bring true Chochmah de Kedusha, holy wisdom to me, right? That's the pathway. Okay, anyway, that's what we did last time. So today we're spending many weeks on chapter 6 in Rav Arush's book, because we're going through this beautiful Torah of Rav Nissen David Kivak. Welcome, Alona. It's explaining just the first few lines of this. So even though Rav Arush has just a few words on this whole thing, Rav Kivak is going very, very in-depth here. So we're going to see more of the in-depth stuff from Rav Kivak now. So we're going on this part of the story. The wise person was the Chochom was traveling in very fancy wagons in let's see how he says it, in high style, right? And the Tam came out to meet him. And he asked how he's doing with ahava, with love. Achi chavivi, my beloved brother, what are you doing? Baruch ha'makom sheheviacha va'ani zochel lirosecha. Blessed is the omnipresent, like we say on Pesach, right? Blessed is Hashem who brought you here, and I'm able to see you. V'chacham anan, so the Chacham, gam kol ha'olam haya be'inav koloi kanal. The Chochom, the whole entire world, even all the fancy chefs and everything, he thought didn't live up to his standards. Everything he could see in the world, whatever it was not good enough for him, right? Mikol sheken ish kazeh, and certainly this guy, the Tam shenid melim meshuga, that he appeared sometimes to look like a meshuga, to look like a crazy person. And all the people made fun of him, right? So this guy, the Chochom, this is the last person who he wants to hook up with, right? Afal pikein machmas ahavas neurim hagadola shabenehem hayamekarvoy. But even so, because of the tremendous love that he remembers that they had from their youth, right? He brings him near to him. V'nasa imo l'toich, and they travel together into the city. Meaning, if you remember, we said that at the very beginning, that when the Chochom and Tam were little kids, and they didn't yet lose the princess, let's say, right? They were in love. They loved each other. They had a great relationship. Chochmah and Tamimus go together when they're in the place of spiritual security and wealth. In the place of spiritual security and wealth, wisdom, Chochmah, and Tamimus, simplicity and wisdom go hand in hand. It's only once they grew up and they started going off different paths that the Chochom started going down the type of thing that we call toxic wisdom, right? And he remembers that place when they were together, when they were kids. He remembers that youth, that relationship of youth. Do you have memories like this of your childhood? Yeah. I have memories of my childhood that are like the sweetest times I could ever remember. Being like a 3-4-year-old child, things are different. We have what? Yeah, and like from the previous book, we didn't lose the princess yet. We're still right. Okay. Anyway, so that's the story. So let's see what's going on over here. So it's wild. It doesn't make sense that the Chochom, after all this, wants to now be close to the Tam. He shouldn't want to be with this guy, right? They're like oil and water. So says Rav Kiva, Ella, Kanal, Sha'chochma v'Tamimus, Chaverim b'Shorasham. But Chochma and Tamimus, wisdom and simplicity are connected at their root. Kishaya ashirus v'oinig, when there was this spiritual wealth and pleasure. Yada ha'chocham she'toiv li es tam. The Chocham knew that it's good to be simple. The Chocham knew that you have to have simplicity. V'tam yada she'toiv li es Chocham, and the Tam knew that you have to be wise, right? But together, Ella k'sheshnehem b'shorasham kalulim, when the two of them are at their roots bound together, ein echad mekane chaveroi. Neither one of them is jealous of the other one. Right? What does that mean? Ani masha ani. I am who I am. Ve'ein li ma lispal v'gnoise b'chai chaver. There's no reason for me to be jealous of the life of someone else. Ani vehu hu. I'm me, and he's him. Right? So that means that as we're saying, we if we can just remember that we're here to be ourselves, we're here to do something in the world that only we can do, that we have been given the specific capabilities and talents and challenges and friends and family and situation and everything that we have, just so we can do something unique in the world. And should we choose to look to try to be someone else, it ruins the whole thing, right? Now listen to this. Ani sameach v'tachlis hagan eden ha'elyon b'chetzi toiler shemaviach. I'm happy with this thing that's called the Gan Eden Helyon, the paradise of my life, that I'm only going to make a little bit of money, right? The Tom, he only makes what is it, $1.50 or something for his shoes, right? And he's happy. He's happy with it. Va'esmach me'od shechaveri yiyeh millionaire, and I'm very happy that my friend gets to be a millionaire, right? I have an acquaintance who happens to be like a multi-hundred millionaire, like very, 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 very wealthy person, right? And, what's the point of being jealous of such a thing, right? First of all, if you're jealous of someone, you got to be jealous of everything they have and all of the difficulties and worries and stresses that they have being a multi-$100 million net worth person, right? That's a whole different thing. But also, look, what's the point? To be happy for the person. You have a lot of money? Baruch Hashem, great. Good for you. Right? Okay, I have what I have. Baruch Hashem. It's mamish. It's a very special way to exist. So let's get down to now something very special over here. This is something that we're going to see something today that's a simple idea that we all know. I know that we all know this. And it's hard to hear this idea, and it's hard to put into practice when we're right in the middle of something difficult. But when we learn this concept and we have it as part of us, we keep chazering it, going over and remembering this idea, it puts us in the right mind frame that when we get into difficult situations, we have it with us as a tool that we can get through with. Let's hear. So he says like this. This is, it seems strange that Rabbi Nachman is speaking about love a lot over here. He said, Achi ahuvi, my beloved brother, right? And he's going to ask he asks about how he's doing with ahava, with love. He remembers him because of the love of their youth. He's speaking about love like 3 times over here. L'ramez al inyan ha'ava shebedas. This is hinting to this very, very, very important idea. Ahava shebedas, a type of love that a person can have in their mind. Sheyada ha'adam lakabel be'ahava ma shenaase imoy. To know that a person should accept with love what is being done to them, what is being done for them, what is happening to them. Remember, das is the type of knowledge that is very integrated. It's like deep within me. It's not just something I think about. It's so part of me that it connects my head and my heart together in this thing, and it's a type of knowledge that I live with very powerfully. Integrated knowledge. What's happening to me? Remember, like Gedalia Fenster liked to say, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. What's going on? B'mekabel it ba'ava. Accept it with love. Ki bevadai kol elu hachachmas v'hayisurim hem kedei levarer birurei ha'emuna shehu tachlis chayav l'netzach netzachim. Because it's certain, it's for sure, that all of these types of toxic thoughts that we have and all of the suffering that we experience is only there in order to clarify, to separate, to purify the emuna that we have, which is the purpose, the entire purpose of everything forever. What does that mean? So this lashon of birurim, to be mevarer, to make birurim, this is the word that's used for like the Kabbalistic tikkunim that are taking place. It's for rectifications, right? You know how we like to say this thing that during creation there was the shiras hakelim and all the sparks of kedusha were spread out throughout all of the universe, and wherever we go, we have opportunities to elevate those and bring them back to their source. So to be mevarer, to make a birur, means to take a mixture of something and to purify it, right? It's one of the av malachos of Shabbos, right? To clarify something. So it means I'm taking the holiness, the kedusha is mixed up in the mud, it's mixed up in the dirt and in the darkness, And I'm going to take that mixture that's all messy and dirty, and I'm going to purify and pull out this beautiful shining light of Kedusha that's in there. Right? That's what we mean when we say we're being mevarer nitzotzos to Kedusha. So this is what this is all about. Our deepest, most base, most important thing that we can have is emuna. Right, is living with knowledge that the Ribono Shel Olam is with us, that everything is Hashem, that Hashem is Eino Ed Mavadeh, that everything that happens is Hashem, every aspect of existence, right? And that is the most precious gem. It's the most precious spark of Kedusha, is this aspect of Emuna. And when we find ourselves being thrown into this place of all these toxic thoughts, whether it's fear or sadness, stress, worry, anger, hate, ego, all these things that start filling our brains and flooding us and we can't control it, we're getting into more and more of a negative space. It's as if we're being put into this place where we have the opportunity to take that big dirty mixture and pull out that spark. Pull out that bit of shining piece of emuna out of there, be mavara, clarified, and pull it out of the darkness. It's the whole entire purpose of creation, is that we should be able to find the nitzotzos to Kedusha, these sparks of holiness amongst the darkness of the world, and pull them out and elevate them back up to their source. That's what it means to make a tikkun, a reparation, a rectification. That's what we're doing. So, if I could remember this and have this in my mind, that whenever I'm having a difficult day and my avodas Hashem is not going, and my happiness is not going, right? If I can stop and say, oh, wait a second. Okay, this is where Hashem put me right now. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not having a good day. And it's hard for me to be happy. Oh, this is my chance. Now, here to be mevarer berurim, to make a tikkun, to find in this place a little spark of Kedusha. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm experiencing this. That's it. Right? Wow. V'kabel hakol b'shalom. And accept everything with shalom, with peace. Hashem Yisbarach levadei asa li as a chochma, that it's only Hashem who put these thoughts into my mind. V'adarabba, yismach b'yoser shezocha ladas shezeh chochmos. And I should be very happy that I realize what's happening already. I'm already one step ahead of the game. V'lo yipol b'daito mikol, I shouldn't fall further in my das, in my mind, in my consciousness because of this. Because sometimes when we find ourselves in a difficult place where we've fallen in the feelings, that causes us to fall even further. Because we just think, oh, what am I doing here? Things are not good. And then we dwell on that, and we just go lower and lower and lower. That's it. That is exactly what this toxic wisdom is. So Rabbi Nachman tells us, you want to be a tam, you want to be the person of simcha and tamimus, right, who elevates everything around him. You don't be afraid of this. When you see things are going this way, the tam is not afraid. Rak hoylech likrasoi b'simcha b'ahava. He runs towards it with simcha and ahava. He runs towards it. He loves Hashem for all of the mercy and chesed that Hashem does. To know, to be careful about these types of mindset. So this is a special tool in our toolbox against toxic consciousness. Right? What is it? When we see it coming, when we see ourselves getting on that path, right? Don't start to think, I'm falling. Here it goes. This is really bad. And, I've been really messing up lately and I haven't really accomplished much and, I'm not really worth much and whatever, I don't know, whatever people think. No! Rather, I should be like, whoa, I see this coming. Okay, I'm going for it. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm running toward, I see it coming. I'm going to attack it with simcha. With ahava. Thank you, Hashem. I see this. I know. I get it, Hashem. I see what's coming. Thank you for letting me understand where I'm going. Thank you for letting me see this, the signs on the road that I'm going down a negative path. I'm going to right away do what I can to get out of it and to live in simcha. So he says something interesting here. A little bit of a change of pace over here. And I wrote on the side note over here that some people would not be happy that we talk about this even. Right? So let's see what it is. Just 1 second. No, it's a bit dry. So, if you remember, when Yaakov tricked Esav into getting the bechora, the birthright, right? So Esav says about him, "V'zeh yakveni pa'amayim." He tricked me, outsmarted me, or messed me up twice. First with the blessing and then with the birthright, right? So he says that we have to. It's always hard to know what to learn from that story. You know, it's weird because Yaakov Avinu is lying, right? He dresses up like his brother and tricks his father into. It's very hard to be like, so what are we supposed to do? You know, how often do we talk about the importance of truth? The Torah says, "Midvar sheker tirchak." You have to be very far away from anything to do with untruths, right? So here's something sweet that we can learn from this story. He says, "Shetzarich lignev habechera ba'arama u'mirma." We have to steal the bechera, the birthright, through trickery. What does that mean? The bechera, if you remember, in Torah Aleph, the very first Torah in the Likutei Moharan, the bechera, Reishis, refers to Chochma, Reishis Chochma, Yiras Hashem. Right? It refers to the pursuit of wisdom, of chachma, of seeing the wisdom of Hashem in everything. Right? So we have to sometimes use trickery in order to achieve this, let's say. When a person falls into this fallen form of wisdom, this toxic consciousness, you can't just say, has anybody, let's see, I don't know if anyone's been immune to this, but has anyone not been in a situation where they just are spiritually, emotionally wiped out? And I just can't do it. Right? I can't pray. I can't go. Leave me alone. Right? When we experience this, it's not, we can't just go and do and say, oh, you know what? This is why I say people don't like to talk about this. Because what would be the traditional thing to say? Pick yourself up by your bootstraps, go, and you have to go to shul and daven, and then go learn, and learn all day, and learn all night. This is if we're like in the yeshiva world, right? And just go. Quit being a wimp, whatever, I don't know what they would say, and get back to it. Snap out of it, and get right back onto, being the top person, right? So what? You sometimes you just can't do it. It's not a good, like, if you keep pushing something like that, it's like trying to, those little kids' toys where they have different shapes that they have to stick in, right? Well, for toddlers, it's like you're taking the square shape and you're sticking it into the circle. And you're just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, right? So what's going to happen? It's not going to go, and eventually it's going to break. And if you keep pushing someone, just pushing them and pushing them and pushing them in this realm, you're just going to break this person, right? You can't do it. So, not that Rosh Yeshivas know this stuff, and good Rebbeim know how to take care of their students. And they know who they are, and but you can hear the concept, and it's hard for people to say this. People certainly don't want to say what I'm about to say as a general rule, right? So what do? Kikvar asur hu bekishrei machshavos yisurei chachma. The person is already bound up, tied down by these bad thoughts that they're having. So what do? Ve'ikar haderech az hu lazoyev da'agoisav ve'loimer kriyas shema b'yishuv hadas. The main thing to do now at this point is to let go of your worries and just say kriyas shema. What did I say? B'yishuv hadas. Just say kriyas shema with a settled mind. You know what? Don't worry about anything else. Don't think about all the learning I have to do. Don't think about all this other holy stuff I have to do. Just stop right now and say kriyas shema with a settled mind. You see, by the way, over the last few months, kriyas shema has become a very big thing. Saying the shema, right, has become a huge thing by all Klal Yisrael. Very, very big lately, right? So just let me just reiterate. He's speaking over here about someone who's in a yeshiva kollel type of lifestyle, someone whose general derech is to learn all the time, right? So he's saying over here, if a person finds themselves like that, but it applies to all of us in whatever our life circumstances, whether we work or whatever we do, right? So he says, let's just stop and say kriyas shema b'yishuv hadas. Say shema with a settled mind. V'latzeis yadei choyvas limud haTorah b'kriyas shema b'boker u'be'erev v'lis b'simcha. And say, you know what? You're right. I have an obligation, a mitzvah, to learn Torah every day. So today, my obligation to learn Torah is going to be taken care of by the words of the Shema that I'm saying in the morning and in the evening. And that's it. And now I'm going to be b'simcha. I'm not going to allow myself to be overwhelmed, to be pulled down by the fact that there's something that I have to do, that you're telling me I must do. This is the toxic wisdom. If I'm not doing this, then I'm worthless. Right? Get that out of my mind. You know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to say Shema. That's going to be my limud Torah for the day. And now I'm just going to be b'simcha. I'm not going to allow myself to be pulled down by this satan, yetzer hara, of if I don't do the most I can possibly do, I'm worthless. It's not true. Listen to what he says. These are beautiful words. Ki Hashem Yisbarach yodea va'ed es retzonos de kedusha sheyesh lo. Hashem knows what your holy desires are. Hashem knows that you want to be close, that you want kedusha, that you want the light. He knows that this is what you want. And from this, from just thinking in this way, it's going to open up for you an idea, a thought of tamimus, of this pure simplicity. Hari Hashem kein roye es haratzon sheli. I know that Hashem sees my desire. He knows that I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be overwhelmed. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be down in the dumps. He knows that I want to be doing good things and connecting. He knows it. And I know it. Right? Tikra kriya shema b'tamimus v'tismach b'zeh. Say shema with tamimus. That means with a simple, good heart. Say shema and be happy about it. Really be happy about it. Don't just say I'm convincing myself. No, say it and be happy about it. Ki yesh anoshim shegam l'kriya shema le'zechem. Because there's people, you know what, who can't even do that. And in such a low place. So I love this because you see over here he's telling us something that like I said, people are afraid to say. And it's what this whole thing is about over here. Preparing ourselves to just be able to accept that we're going to be in hard situations. We're going to be in difficult situations. We're going to face suffering. We're going to face sadness. You know, we're going to fight with people. People are going to hate us. We're going to lose loved ones. All these difficult things are going to happen to us. Right? We're going to have money troubles. We're going to have relationship troubles. It's all going to happen. And if we prepare ourselves and we get ourselves ready to know that all of this stuff is an opportunity for me, just to, in that place, in whatever way I can, to connect to the light of Hashem in that place. Right? And to say, oh, I know that I'm going down with all these negative thoughts. Wow. Thank you, Hashem, for giving me this tremendous Torah that Rabbi Nachman told us. Thank you for giving me the ability to see it happening in front of my face and to get ready to be calm and to be with emuna. Right? What's emuna? calm confidence. I don't have to get upset. I don't have to yell, or scream, or fight. Okay, it's okay. Someone's arguing with me. Someone's yelling at me. Okay, thank you. Baruch Hashem, I see what's going on here. I'm not going to let it get me down. Right? I know who I am. I know why I'm here. And I know what I'm going to try to do. That's it. It's hard because, nowadays we see that you can be faced with confronted with and faced with people who are so angry and so strong in opinions, like across the board, many things. And I know some of us here, for sure, are struggling with this right now, in a big way, dealing with people in this way. So it's a good time to have this in mind, not with arrogance, not to show someone a face like okay, I hear what you're saying. It's okay. I know much better than you. I don't even need to fight with you. No. Not with arrogance. Right? Just to say, okay, Hashem, I see what's going on here. And I'm just gonna be respectful, and I'm going to be with emuna and allow myself to exit from the situation and keep on going with simcha. That's it. My emuna is gonna pull me through this situation. Right? It's very sweet. So this is what the Baal Shem Tov says about, we're running out of time here, so about David HaMelech. The Pasuk says that David HaMelech wrote in Tehillim, Chishavti drachai va'ashiva ragli el edoisecha. I thought about my paths, and I put my feet back on the path to your mitzvahs, let's say. Right? So, saying that David HaMelech is teaching us a very important lesson over here. Because Hashem Yisborach is mispa'er me'elu habirurim. When we go through these types of situations where we're faced with such a toxic place, a toxic consciousness and mind frame, and we pull out of there emuna, and we bring light out of that darkness, this is like the biggest crown for Hashem. This is the biggest glorification of Hashem in the world. This is what Hashem wants from us in the deepest way. And so he says, this is what he's doing, preparing to go and meet this guy. He puts on his fancy clothing called the yupa, remember that? Right? So he says like this, listen to this. Ma'asa David. So what did David HaMelech do when he was going through these terrible, difficult times? Remember, Kima'at, the entire Sefer Tehillim, all of the book of Psalms, almost, is David HaMelech out in the Judean hills, right? Alone, crying to Hashem, talking to Hashem about all these terrible things that are happening to him, right? His son is chasing after him to kill him, right? All these things that happen to him. Shaul HaMelech is sending people after him to kill him, right? He's supposed to be the king. He knows. He has prophecy. He's the highest of the high. He's the king. He's the Melech Yisrael, right? And he's being chased down by his own son, even, right? He's such difficult times. He's in the hills and he's crying out to Hashem and singing to Hashem, right? So in that situation, what does David do? He says, "Cheshavti derachai." I'm going to think about my pathways, about where I'm going. Shehayashar shekedai lakum chatzos. So there's a famous Gemara that says that David HaMelech would hang his harp up above him when he would go to sleep, and a certain wind would blow right at Chatzos Halayla in the middle of the night, and it would blow and knock his harp or whatever. I don't know how it would blow through the strings. I don't know exactly what would happen, but this harp would begin to make a sound, to play some kind of music, and he would wake up, and from then he would go and he would begin to be mispoided, to daven, to learn, to do all these holy things that David, Melech Yisrael, would do, right? So here's over here. So what did David do? I don't know exactly if this is supposed to be a little bit kind of funny or not, but I'm not sure. He says, he would say, you know what? Shechishev, kedai lakum chatzos b'shvil til, akois kafe, ve'achanois, ve'lismachim akinar. It's good. It's a good thing that a person should wake up wake up in the middle of the night to prepare to go out on a hike, on a walk, or to have a cup of coffee. Wake up and have a cup of coffee, or other types of things you have to prepare for. To be misameach with a kos kafe, to be happy with a cup of coffee. I identify with this very strongly. It's like my main reason to wake up in the morning is to have a cup of coffee, right? Right. So in other words, once again, we're using trickery over here. Just say, you know what? I'm going to wake up now. Whole day's ahead of me. Who knows what's going to be? I'm going to wake up, have my coffee. I don't know what else. It's a good thing to do in the morning, right? I just wake up because I got to scream at the children to get them to school. But, right? But I'm going to get up, have my coffee. Yeah, maybe people want to got to take the dog for a walk. It's going to be a beautiful day. Whatever it's going to be. I'm going to wake up. Got something good going on. And then, and through waking up with simcha like this, kvar hisoirer mishnasoi v'kam. Now you're awake. You got up. Now I can go and plan my day. What are the good things I'm going to do today? How am I going to be an awesome person today? Right? It's the same kind of trickery. The same idea. I think I'm in a dark place. You know what? I'm just going to find some simcha and use that as my anchor to get me going in the same way. Right? This is the only way we can do it in this world. Because you know what? Esav was born first. What does that mean? It means that we're gonna find ourselves in galus, in exile, in darkness. That's what this world is all about. It's like this is the way the world is. I think I wrote this down over here. Oh, it's on the next page. What does that mean? It means that I know this concept of this toxic consciousness is already out there. It was born first. Right? So I have to bring in tamimos wherever I can. I have to jump at these things. This is sweet. So now I have to make shalom with all of my character traits, all of the situations I find myself in, and even if I'm a chochom, the bad kind of chochom, even if I'm thinking in a toxic way and I'm allowing myself to be pulled down by all this, right? Hashem yisparach, nimtza iti. Hashem is with me here. And just this thought alone is already the beginning and the end of Tamimus. Right? I know I'm going to be thinking like this at some point. And you know what I'm going to say then? Okay. Yeah. That's the world that we live in. Esav was born first. The world is dark. And Hashem put me here to be in the darkness. And in this darkness, to ignite a little bit of simcha, a little bit of Tamimus, and bring out the Kedusha in this place. Thank you, Hashem. I know you put me here. This is how we go into the wagon of the Chochom. We go together with the Chochom. And we illuminate right? So in the story, what does he do? He goes now into the wagon of the Chochom and they go together. What's he doing over there? What's he telling us in the story? That's what we got to do. We got to run out with ahava and simcha. Right? Yeah, we know he's coming. We know what it's all about. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to ignite some of my tamimos in there. I'm walking into the storm. And in there, I'm going to light him up. I'm going to bring the light into the darkness of the Chochom. So I'm going right into his wagon and we're driving together now. That's it. Right? It's the confidence of emuna. It didn't sound so calm there, right? But it's confidence and just, yeah, that's what I'm here for. Oh, I love this Torah. V'tzarech lachtoif es ha'koiva shel tamimus lechapes machshava misameches. Sometimes we have to put on our hat of tamimus, right? We got to put on the simple hat, and just search for a thought of happiness. And then when all these toxic wisdoms come, with all the fanfare and noise that they make, and they're filling my mind, and they're roiv machshava shel. That's most of what's in my mind. I'm going to grab a hold of one thought of simplicity, of simcha. And within, I'm going to sit down in that wagon of the Chochom and grab a hold of my tamimus and my simcha and just relax. I'm here. I'm in the wagon of the Chochom. I'm in it. All those thoughts are all around me, but you know what? It's okay. I know where I am. I'm in this wagon and I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to be okay with it. Zehu zeh, ani tam v'Hashem iti gam kacha. This is it. I'm just translating literally over here. This is it. I'm a tam. I'm a holy, simple person. And Hashem is with me even here. Hashem is with me even here. This is, by the way, the basis of the entirety of Torah Vav also. The 6th lesson in the Likutei Moharan. Right? That whether I'm very, very high or whether I'm very, very low. Right? There's a way to be close to Hashem in both of those places. Right? And when I'm low, it doesn't change. In the Torah of Rav Vichemeier Morgenstern, he especially the way Rabbi Joey Rosenfeld explains it in a very deep way. One of the concepts that binds all of his Torah together is this idea that we've said this before, but it's important for this part, that Hashem needs us. Usually we don't say such a thing, that Hashem needs us, right? But once Hashem made the world the way He did, He needs us to be able to go into the dark places, and in those dark places, show that Hashem is there, show that the light is there, and it's as if it's really philosophically the entire makeup of all of existence, and the whole purpose of us being here. Because Hashem's light is bright. He doesn't need us to shine bright light all over the place, right? But we live in this world of darkness, and we are holy neshamas in a body that gets pulled towards darkness all the time, and our thoughts even get pulled towards darkness, and we find ourselves in this place, be able to go into such a place, and to go there and then show that even in that place, Hashem's there, right? That is making the biggest Kiddush Hashem possible. That is the biggest Kiddush Hashem that we can do. It's not a Kiddush to go into, you ever seen the Belzer Beis Medrash in Yerushalayim? Belzer Hasidim have this building. It's like a giant cube. It looks like it's a Beis Hamikdash. Huge, huge, huge place. Like massive. It's like a crazy landmark. And you go inside and it's this, everything is beautiful, marble and everything, fantastic. Okay, so you go into such a place. It's not so hard to find the light. You go to the kotel, right? It's not so hard to find the light. Ne'ilav Yom Kippur. It's not so hard to find the light, right? Yeah, those places, it's already shining brightly. But these places where we find ourselves dipping into darkness and being pulled into these, and to be able to stand in that place and say, I'm here, and Hashem's with me. That's it. I'm here and Hashem's with me. That's showing that the light is there even in the darkness, right? This is the line. This is my favorite line of today. Zehu zeh, ani tam v'Hashem iti gam kacha. Great. What time is it? Okay, so let's see. Okay, we'll do a little bit more. We got 10 minutes, and then we'll finish up. So and he would ask with love, how are you doing, my old friend, my beloved brother? How are you? What are you doing? Gam shekeshaboy machachmas barash gadol eni mefached mehem. When this toxic consciousness comes towards me, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Kisharasham shalom ba'ahava gedola, because I can be there with tremendous ahava and peace, love and peace. Ahava shebedas, this love that can be in my consciousness. Hashem ohev oisi v'chol ma shenaseh hakol berev chasadav afilu shigyonosai harabim. Right? Hashem loves me, and everything that's happening to me is all from His tremendous chesed, kindness. Even all the craziness that's in my mind, even all my craziness is from Hashem. Right? And He's with me. He's with me right now. And I'm happy about it. I see my craziness coming. Right? I see I'm going down this pathway. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is where Hashem's taking me today. Hashem's with me. We're on this. So I wrote down over here. I had a mashal in mind. Have you ever seen when you have like a fighter pilot, and they decide they're going to take onto the fighter jet like a journalist to like show him what it's like to drive in a fighter jet. So the fighter pilot, he's used to it. He's doing it all the time, right? And the journalist goes on this plane because he's like, yeah, okay, I'll go on and I'll see what it's all like. So when they're taking these like turns at the high speeds and everything, they face tremendous G-force to the point where they can't breathe and they lose consciousness. They pass out, right? So it's terrifying, obviously. I would not be so quick to go up into such a jet, right? So okay, but think about the two people, right? The one guy who's there, he's terrified. And he's shaking in his boots, and maybe he's going to lose consciousness. He doesn't know what to do. It's all he's mavubal. He's confused. He's afraid. He's worrying. He's all in this mind frame. And the pilot is just as comfortable as ever. It's just another day at the office for him, right? Right? Why? Because he sees all of the things that are going by and all of the G-forces and everything, and he just has that confidence. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. And if I'm here, I know I can do what I have to do, right? So a person of strong emuna, who sees the world coming at him or her, right? She can say, okay, I see everything that's coming. I'm a fighter pilot. I'm going through it. I'm just navigating my way through it. It's all okay. It's all good. Okay, yeah, it's a tough turn coming up, but it's okay. Hashem's with me. Hashem loves me. Hashem's with me, and I'm here, right? Or if you're not living with emuna and consciousness of Hashem like this, you're just like, what's happening? I don't know what's going on, what's going to be, and what's happening. Are we taking another turn? There's going to be more G-forces, and we're losing our mind, going crazy. We're so afraid and upset, right? This is the two ways to be. Ein li baya im chachmoisav shel Amalek adarabah hatam ratz kenegdai b'shalom b'simcha. I'm running towards these things with simcha, happiness, shalom, peace, and ahava, love. Ve'en Hashem yisbarach moicha. This is awesome. So this is once again. This is this concept that you see. The whole world is made like this, right? This is the plan. So listen to this. This is about Amalek, and we'll finish up with this. V'amarle achi ahuvi. He said to him, my beloved brother, Ki gila ha'emes sha'achen ha'chachma v'atmimus heim achim havum. Because he knows now, he knows this in the depth of his soul, that simplicity and wisdom can go together in a very holy way. Ein shayach echad mehem levad. You can't have only one of the two. Like the pasuk says, Machoy timche es Amalek, right? Loy tishkach. Don't forget. So if you remember, this is the parsha that we have to hear right before Purim coming up. That's our next big holiday, right? So we're going to have the mitzvah of hearing the parsha of Amalek, right? Mechoy emche timche es zecher Amalek mitachas hashamayim. But the pasuk says mechoy emche, mechoy timche. It's like a double wording. Right, and one of the things he's saying over here that we're learning from this is Ein Hashem Yisbarach moicha es Amalek b'pam achas v'chasal. Why didn't he make it that when Amalek first attacked us by the mountain over there, when Moshe was on top of the mountain, right, and Aaron and Hur were holding up his hands, and Yeshua and the army was fighting Amalek in the valley. So why didn't he just wipe out Amalek? Done, game over. Why is it that Amalek keeps coming up every generation, even literally today? Literally today, right? And there's this awesome big thing about this amazing thing in the Megillah. I'm not going to say it now, but with the Nuremberg trials, and how Germany was considered like Amalek, and this energy of Amalek keeps coming up over and over again throughout the generations. Why Hashem? Get rid of them and let us try to be good. Just let us try to do what we have to do. Why does Amalek keep coming up over and over again? Right? Good question. No. It's a question. It's a broad question that we ask ourselves these questions all the time. Why does it have to be hard? Why does it have to be painful? Right? Why do good people have to suffer? It's the same question. So he says, Ki adarabba, Iker shleimus hayichud, the absolute perfection and completion of the oneness of Hashem, really, hu daika yadei sheyesh Amalek ba'olam. It's specifically through this that Amalek is in the world. It's specifically through the fact that there is darkness, that there is difficulty and pain and suffering. V'yesh avodas berur hanoiga v'hamidas hanefulais. And there is this avodah, this effort that we go through to pull out the good, to pull out all of the light and all of the holiness from that mixture of shmutz that it's fallen into. It comes out that in a certain sense, it's like the toxicity of the way of thinking of the Chochom in this story, and the Tam, the beautiful, nurturing simplicity of the life of the Tam. It's like they go together, because it's only when you have that place of darkness that the Tam can pull out the light from that place, right? And really, it's like this question. What did I write over here? Yeah, it's like the general hashkafa of our existence completely, of all of creation. It's like the purpose of everything. Ubaha tam el hachachmos shaboy, and the tam comes into this consciousness. La'an ata noisea, where are you going? Hare ata achshali, you're my brother. V'kol ikar tachlisacha lahoysiv das l'avodas Hashem b'derech tamima. Your whole purpose in this world, Chochom, smarty pants, is to help me, is to help to what does he say? Lahoysiv das, to increase consciousness into the avodas Hashem, to increase our level of God consciousness in the world. V'harei adu achim, we're brothers. Im kein ma ata oiseh lahachrivoisi machshavos meshugais. What are you trying to make me crazy for? Don't even bother. Harei be'emes achim, we're brothers. Don't get involved in all these thoughts that cause you suffering and worry. Get off this derech. Go away from here. This is where the Tam can come in and start to turn on the lights a little bit and start to say, hey, wait a second, you got it all wrong. So this is a very foundational, in my mind, and deep sort of passage that we just went over here. Because really, it's talking about, in a sense, like an aspect of the whole purpose of the whole creation. What are we doing here? What's the general hashkafa of life? Right? I think everybody knows nowadays. Maybe not, but everybody knows that we see that life. Nobody has a life in this world that's always happy and peaceful and good and pleasant. Right? Rav Dessler already wrote about this. He has one of his articles is on simcha. Simcha. And happiness. And he says over there, you look at any side of the coin, you're going to see that nobody is really happy in the world. Right? Meaning, nobody, if they don't have the right key, is happy. Meaning, a standard person, if they're poor, they're upset and they're sad because they don't have enough and they have to fight for the right. And people who are rich, they're very upset because they have to worry about their money and this, and their children are becoming spoiled and this and that, and more money, more problems, to quote 90s popular music culture. Right? 80s? 90s, yeah. Right? It doesn't exist. And everybody in the world is going to be faced with challenges and difficulties, and it's going to be hard. And we know that. Right? And we're up for the challenge. But he's telling us something over here, is that even in our consciousness, even in our minds, when we see ourselves going into this place, right away, we got to run into it and say, oh, Okay, I see what's happening. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do what we have to do. And so, to review this one aspect, we should all know that sometimes it's not the right day for us to be making a big splash in the world. What do we want to do? Oh, I want to accomplish a lot. And I want to study so much, and I want to learn so much, and I want to do so many good things. And, I want to be an inspiration, and I want to bring light into the world. What's all the things we want to do? You know what? Some days, it's just not going to be in the cards. And it's okay. Because Hashem doesn't want us on those days to accomplish all these great things. You know what Hashem wants us in those days to do? To see ourselves in that dark place, and in that dark place, say, Hashem, I know you're with me. And in that dark place, to find a little bit of light, to light a Hanukkah menorah at the darkest time of the year, right? This is what Hashem wants. And to Hashem, that's one of the biggest glories you could give Hashem. That's one of the biggest Kiddush Hashem you can make, right? So we have to keep these things in mind and keep them with us. And Mitzvah Hashem, it'll take us through all these difficult times. And we'll come out the other side not only with a lot of light, but having made a big Kiddush Hashem in the world. Any comments, questions?
Agreed.
Well,
Okay.
It's a lesson on never giving up.
Never giving up.
There's always hope, right?
In Shum Yeush. Yeah.
Even all this pain.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sima. All the best. Okay, everybody have a fantastic, like I said, next on Wednesday, here in person at 9 o'clock, Wednesday night. There's going to be the regular Likutei Moharan class. Not only that, it's going to be sponsored by Michael Tza'idi, Ilui Nishmash's father, Zohar ben Ruven. And there's going to be a sushi platter and some drinks and stuff. It's going to be very geschmack. Everyone is invited to join. And thank you, everybody, for joining today. Love you guys. Okay.